So I just did a parasite cleanse, and this is an update. I did one like halfway through, and apparently I've become really passionate about parasites in the last 30 days. And I just want to like shout it from a rooftop that y'all need to get cleansed. I like Oprah Winfrey over here. I'm like, you need a cleanse, and you need a cleanse. Y'all getting some cleanses. Y'all got parasites. Um, because it's been awful. It's been an awful experience, but it's so relieving at the same time, you guys. Like, I feel so much better just within the first week of doing this cleanse. Like, I just feel like significantly like higher, like elevated, of just like, oh my god, these things just came out of my body, like they were in me, like draining my life. They like, I've been running at half mass my whole life because like I literally don't even stand a chance because these things are absorbing all of your nutrients. They're depleting everything you need. They're full of toxic waste. Like, they create this biofilm around themselves, and so they make this like cocoon of like heavy metals and undigested rotten meat and their own waste. And you guys, they never turn into a butterfly. Like, they don't. They don't. They don't turn into a butterfly. And it's awful. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, they were just like these sacks of like, and the parasite was like in them, and some of them were like up to a foot long and highly disturbing. And if I was, and like, I could do a whole montage. Of course, I took pictures. I could do a whole montage of what came out of my body, just because like I was just like in the shock of like, oh my god, like when does this end? Um, 30 days, like I still had parasites coming out of me. And because they're in your small intestines, and your small intestines, I think, are like a mile long. And so it's like that they were just hanging out, just living in there. um and I feel so much better, and I can only imagine how much better I'm gonna feel once my body can actually like recover and start like absorbing things again and like healing. Because I've always had like digestive issues, and I'm like food allergies, um, skin problems, rashes, like rosacea and acne, thyroid issues. A lot of these symptoms are the same as thyroid symptoms. Uh, anything. I mean, there's just a drop down list of all the symptoms of what parasites do to you, and they can pretty much mask as anything that the doctors diagnosed you as. And it makes sense because they're depleting your immune system. I got thyroid cancer 4 years ago, and this is why I fell down this rabbit hole. Um, I kept hearing about parasite cleanses, and I kept thinking that, like, oh yeah, sure, that's like natural thing, and they're like these little microscopic things that live in you, and you can't really see them. But no, you can absolutely see them, and they're a lot more terrifying than I thought they would be. And that is why I'm talking about this, is because I want it. Like, it's disgusting, but we need to talk. We need to talk about this because I live in the United States and we don't talk about it. Not only do we not talk about it, we're shamed for talking about it or even thinking about it. When I asked my physician about getting tested for parasites a couple years ago, she literally thought I was crazy. Like, she was like actually like trying not to like laugh in my face, and it was totally humiliating. She still ended up doing the tests, I think, just to kind of like blow me off, to make me go away, and they all came back negative. I've had a test done by a dietitian as well. She did like a thorough stool analysis, um, because I wasn't absorbing any nutrients, and she even said that like on the paperwork. She's like, you have everything here shows that you would have parasites, but they're not showing up. Like, you're not positive for parasites. And yet, a couple of years later, like, I was full of them. And, on this whole path of like healing my cancer, if I was to go back now, I'm like, I would have started with the parasite cleanse. Thank you. Like, obviously, like, you're like, it's not to say that the parasites are causing the cancer, but they're definitely like keeping you from fighting it off yourself. I kept hearing this like ivermectin, It got really popular during COVID. People were taking it. They were taking horse dewormer, and it was making them better. But all the titles just kind of read that they were taking horse dewormer or ivermectin, and it was healing them. But what's really happening is they're actually deworming themselves, and they're able to fight off the viruses. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. It's all making sense. um, Horrible, terrible sense. Um, and people need to talk about it. Like, it needs to be a thing in the United States, because they are there. It's like a natural process. You can literally get them anywhere. It doesn't matter if you have pets. It doesn't matter if you're a vegan. Um, the lady that I watched the interview, she was the one that I did the protocol for. She made the Heal documentary on Gaia. She is like a health guru. Okay, she's vegan. She does cleanses. She does colonics. She does retreats. Everything. Like she's very financially well off anyway, so she has all of these amenities like in her disposal, and she still had the same experience. She's like, no, I had like these sacs come out of my body, and she's like, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. And it's like, if she has them, you got them. Like, you don't stand a chance. And by definition, like, I shouldn't have them either, because I use a food thermometer when I cook my meat. I have food certified like safety courses of like cross contamination. Like, I've worked in kitchens. I'm very well aware of how to not spread germs. All my pets have always been dewormed. I've never had fleas. I've done detoxes myself. I've done fasting. I've done like diatomaceous earth protocols for like 30 days. And I was still full of parasites, and it's fucking disgusting. And we do need to talk about it and be more aware of it. I'm going to post the link below of the protocol I did in the video that led me to the protocol. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you looking more into it and being more aware, because now I need to go deworm my family. I gotta talk my husband into doing this. I'm going to look into ivermectin now. I feel like it might be more low maintenance for my husband. Because the herbal one, it was a little more stricter of like the timing and everything, but it was well worth it. And again, I can only imagine how much better I'm gonna feel once I get around this. Oh, and I still need to keep doing the cleanse like 2 or 3 more times because of the outcome, because of the visible parasites, and I gotta go do it. I gotta do more.